we can look at weldments to use as an alternative really to sweeping sketches and pathways, and they can be really handy to create things that you might do regularly. So what I've done here, just to demonstrate what I mean, is set up what might be a room floor, walls, where you might want to put a door frame, some skirting in. So in joinery, this is using weldments can be really handy because we use a lot of profiles and they're often mitered, and it handles the miters really well. So it's really quite quick and easy, and you can start building up a library. I'll probably do more than one video on this. What I'll do today is just show you how to work with some of the weldments I've already created and that I use regularly, and then probably in the next one we'll look at how you actually create that library of sketches and set up the weldments so that you can start creating your own libraries to do that. I think it's best though just to look at what it is that we're trying to achieve with this, so that then you can then work out whether it's something you'd want to do to set these up. So we've got a room here. Maybe you've been to survey it. Maybe you're going to put a kitchen along this back wall here, and you've been to survey it and you just want to put some detail in, maybe some skirting, some door frames or whatever, just to just create some sort of room shell. And in order to do that, I can then sort of show you maybe 3 weldments that I've already got defined in my library. We've got a door frame weldment, we've got an architrave weldment and a skirting weldment. But it could be, panel mouldings. It could be anything. Quite frankly, be anything that you can sweep round that you can think of. And just for this demonstration, we're going to use those. So first of all, let's have a look at the door frame. First thing we might want to do is create a door frame. So we'll create a sketch to start on this surface, and simply pick up all these points with our sketch here. And that will be our first sketch. So we'll exit sketch, and you'll see if you zoom in, there's a grey line here. This doesn't show too well on the grey background that's already there, but there is a grey line. Otherwise, you'd see it all highlighted with the black lines here that you would see here. If we go over to the other side, we might want to put another door frame over here. So once again, sketch again, pick up those 3 points. So here, 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 down to here, click off, and we will just exit the sketch. So we've now created 2 sketches in our feature tree down here, which are showing, and we're going to use the weldment tool to add a door frame. So we go up to the top here and we go weldments, structural member, and here you'll notice that there's 3 boxes, and this is important when we come to actually creating our own weldments. You'll want to create some files that have 3 file destinations within them to finally get to your size. So first of all, the standard is rubber, so I've obviously got some rubber profiles in here, but at the moment I've got 4 set up. I've got metal, plaster, GRG, rubber and wood. So we're looking for wooden profiles that I have previously put in here. And we've got type. So our type is architrave, cornice, door frames, so on and so forth, picture rails. So I'm going to pick door frame on this occasion, and then I've got a couple of different sizes in here. And I've named them 120 by 20. I did this very early on when I first started working with weldments. I'm not sure I would have used the 120 because you can actually adjust these, and I'll show you how you can do that once you've actually placed your weldment. So I probably might think about renaming those, or if you're going to start again, maybe just have a look at what we're doing here before you choose your names. We're going to choose a 120 by 20 door frame, and then down below here we've got groups. So if we highlight the groups box, we're going to select our first group, and our first group is going to be this sketch over here. And when we click on it, it will apply our weldment to it. So you can see there it's picked up that first line that I've clicked on, and we can see that we've got a door frame profile just starting to work its way up through that vertical there. but it isn't really in the right place because you can see it's encroaching on the wall. We'd want it, this part of it here where this is. So if it doesn't come in picking up the right profile position for you, you go down to the bottom here and click locate profile, and you'll see it'll zoom in, and this is actually the sketch of your profile down the bottom here, and you can choose any of these points to bring it in line with here. So if I was to click on this point, you can see it brings the doorstop into this position here. Well, we don't really want that, so we want to choose one that's going to put it in the correct position. So go locate profile again. We're really going to want this point here, and you can see that's now put our first leg in the correct place. And then if we just continue round clicking the rest of the group, so we've got these 3 lines in group number 1, you can see that we've got a nice little door frame and a mitered corner up in the corner here, but you can change the corner treatments at this point over here in the left hand side. So apply corner treatment, you can see you've got various options, but for us mitering works well often in joinery, so, and you can even merge the miter bodies. There's a few other things that you can do here, and that gives us our first group. Now if you want to add, you could tick this off and that would just give you one door frame and it would be a feature of its own. But if you want to add another group, you might have a number of door frames, and we've got a second one over here. You go new group, and we're now working with the second group, and it'll just go through the process again. So we can click this door frame here, we can locate the profile, and there's other things you can do to locate the profile. You can not just pick the sketch, you can choose to maybe make it 90 degrees, and you'll see what that does. Just play about with them. You can see it moves it till it gets into the right place. It might not have come in the correct orientation. As it happens, this one has, and all it needs to do is be shifted to this point here. You can mirror the profile around the horizontal axis, the vertical axis, so you can muck around with those till you get it to where you want it to be. But where we want it to be is just simply locating the profile, picking up this point, and then we get our nice door frame. And now we're happy with those. We've got our 2 door frame profiles, and we just click it off, and there they are. And I then tend to, just as a force of habit, hide away the sketches, so we don't need to see those anymore. And there you go, there's our first door frame, and you can put some appearances on there if you want. Okay, then we now want to do, let's say, an architrave. So once again, we go through the same process. Let's pick up a sketch on all these points where we're going to position our architrave. We're going to put it in the center here. We do this door frame, but you could do your sketch not in the center and maybe 2 or 3 million from the edges, whatever you want it to be. So that's our first sketch done, and let's have another door frame on this other side here. So I have a sketch on surface, and we can bring our next sketch round. Exit that sketch. Okay, so we've got our 2 grey sketch lines, and now we're going to apply a different profile. So we're still in wood because it's going to be a wooden profile. We're going to look for architrave, and on this occasion, let's put, I don't know what we got here, panel mold. Here we go, panel mold. Click on the groups, and we just add it here the same way. So the orientation is pretty good. That's exactly bang on where we want it to be. So we could play around with it, moving it if we wanted to, if it wasn't correct, but we don't need to. So we're just going to wrap it round, click all 3 points. We're going to start a new group. We're going to click on this one. Once again, orientation has come in spot on what we want, so that's fine. We don't have to mess around with realigning it. Tick it off. Let's hide away the sketches. And there you go. We've got 2 sets of door frames. Okay, and with their architraves. Then let's do a new sketch on the floor to add some skirting groups. So 1 line here. Pick up this point here into the corner. wrap this around. Okay, there we go. We've got another sketch. Let's add some skirting. So skirting down the bottom here, pick up the skirtings. Let's find a profile. Let's go for, let's say, 120 torus. Once again, you can actually change the names. I don't really like the fact that I've got it as 120 now, because you can change it. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So you can see this has come in really not how we want it to be. Actually, this line, this point is correct where it's picking up on the profile. So if I go locate profile, we don't need to change that point to this point at all. What we need to do is mirror it. It's around the wrong way. So let's pick up mirror profile. Now it's mirrored it around the horizontal axis. So once again, let's put it in the wrong place. So let's click the vertical, and you can see now this is exactly where we want it to be. And we're going to add a new group, and we can then work on this group over here. And we know now all we need to do is mirror it via the vertical axis, and then we can miter it all the way around here. Add our third new group, and once again comes in slightly wrong. Down the bottom, mirror profile, vertical axis. There we go. Hide the sketch away. Now you can see got some door frames, got some skirting, got some architrave, all pretty quick and easy, really. If you just want to model up a quick room. Of course, you can apply this to all sorts of things. Now, if you wanted to make some changes to this profile, let's say you wanted it to be 150 millimeters high rather than 120. A quick and easy way to do that is to expand the skirting of the feature that you're looking at, and then you can see here we've got the sketch of it. You can edit the sketch, which is edited the sketch profile, and it will give you all the dimensions and profiles that you created this, what is a library feature part. It's a library feature sketch, and you can just double click on this and make it whatever you want. So I want it to be 150. Click OK, and there you go. Now we've got a 151. So that's kind of cool, and it's altered all the others. So if you wanted, for some unusual reason, for this one to be 150 and this one to be, because if we go, because it's all in the same feature, if you wanted them to be different, then the way to do it would be to create a second Weldment and not have them as additional groups, because it will change all the groups. Although it hasn't changed this one, so not quite sure why it's done that, but there you go. This one here is where's the sketch for that? Is that one a bit smaller? Or maybe it's not smaller, it might just be my eyes. No, it has changed it. No, it is correct. Yes, so it's all working off of that one sketch to drive all of those skirting parts. So as I say, if you wanted these to be different, you'd have needed to create a feature of its own with a different size. Okay, well, I hope that helps you maybe click less and when you're creating things, and look forward to our next video where we're going to show you how you actually set up these profiles and sketches and form a library so that you can actually create these Weldments of your own. See you next time.